they're off. First start, Bulletproof Coffee just toward the back with Atlantic Convoy. California Crown breezes through, gets that lead quickly. Zulu Warrior racing on the outside. There goes Fortuna Bell in pursuit of the leader, California Crown, as they arrive at the half mile. California Crown by just over a length. Fortuna Bell racing back in second. Zulu Warrior is 3 lengths back and running in third. They lead the 7/16. Huntsman is a further 2 lengths back, right there on the rail. That's Strike Smart as they go flashing past the 3. Teflon Don now beginning to make ground toward the outside. Cookie Day and Night. Bulletproof Coffee is asked to close up. Strike Smart has faded. Atlantic Convoy at the back, but out in front and traveling strongly. That's California Crown with that lead. Here now is a Cookie a Day, rather Fortuna Bell kicking in on the outside. California Crown. Fortuna Bell needs to find 2 lengths. Zulu Warrior now coming with a rush down against the rail, but it is California Crown driven to the max inside the final 16th. Zulu Warrior running best of the rest. California Crown and Robert Halladine will win the Kaz Hoshay Trophy by almost 2 lengths over Zulu Warrior. Then Cookie Day and Night. Fortuna Bell is back in fourth. Michael Sims is ready. They're off. Run Julie Run gets a great start. Desert of Malibu in pursuit already and joining as they go flashing past the 7. Divine Force races down on the rail. Unspun is racing out wide of horses as they sort themselves out. And Desert of Malibu has now been sent to that lead by Radesh Roman as they flash past the 6. Run Julie Run tracking 3 parts of a length down. A break of 2 or more to Divine Force. Unspun racing on the outside. Mojito tucked neatly in between horses, filling the sandwich as they leave the 5. 3.5 lengths back to Sheer Delight. Fearless Soul asked to improve against the fence. Interesting Times Ahead is at the back and last. Just about a half a mile to run as they go rushing into that turn, and Desert of Malibu and Run Julie Run continue to match strides as they charge away, leaving the 7/16th, and now Radesh sends Desert of Malibu on by some 2 lengths. Run Julie Run being ridden now and asked to go in chase. Watch Mojito making progress. A break opens up to Unspun. Divine Force and Sheer Delight team up in behind. Fearless Soul is next, and Interesting Times Ahead, Never In It, continues to run at the back, but at the top of the lane in the Clovis Metcalfe, and Desert of Malibu now opens the lead over Run Julie Run the Grey. Mojito is down against the fence. Unspun coming through horses. Sheer Delight on the outside. Divine Force running on the spot, but it's Desert of Malibu leaving the furlong pole with a clear lead. Can they catch this Desert of Malibu? Radish, the sneaky Fox Roman, he's looking for 5. Desert of Malibu is going to provide it, and Desert of Malibu is down, wins the Clovis Metcalfe. 5 for Radish. Run Julie Run second. Divine Force is third. Unspun fourth. Sheer Delight is back in 5th. As they're off. Perfect start. Chocobo gets a good one. California Crown right alongside. They match strides early. Pack Place moves down into third and stalks those leaders. Legacy Isle on the outside of Mahogany. Wall Street Trader races second from the back, and Digital One is the last of the field as they're about to arrive at the half mile and go running into that turn. California Crown continues to battle for it. There goes Pack Place now nosing in front. These 2 bobbing heads for it. Legacy Isle now cruising down and looking a real threat. Mahogany is urged to stay close as they leave the 3/8 pole. Wall Street Trader races ahead of Chocomo, and Digital One floundering at the back. They leave the 5/16th. They're about to come into the top of the lane. Legacy Isle is on the outside. California Crown near the rail. And now Legacy Isle is asked to kick, and Legacy Isle grabs that lead. It is Legacy Isle up front, leaving the 3/16th marker. Wall Street Trader on the outside. Pack Place left in behind. Legacy Isle continues to lead with a furlong to run. Here now, asked to close up. That is Wall Street Trader. It's Legacy Isle grabbed now by Wall Street Trader. They drive down the lane. Wall Street Trader on the outside, and narrow leader. Legacy Isle can't win. Wall Street Trader beats Legacy Isle. Then Pack plays Mahogany. California Crown.
They're off on racing. Get a Pepsi is darting toward the near side. Teflon Don got away quite nicely too. Also there a gift from Ben. Bulletproof Coffee and Another one over on the right in the middle. And over on the far side, that's Manny Slam. So it is another one. Bulletproof Coffee. Get a Pepsi is right there too. Teflon Don. These are the four that lining up at the top four at the moment. And it is another one. Just a leader from Get a Pepsi. Traveling well. Also coming on. That's Teflon Don. And a gift from Ben. Bulletproof Coffee just behind those. Then comes Allegiance, but it's another one. Over on the far side could have the lead from right there to Get a Pepsi. It's another one. Get a Pepsi. Bulletproof Coffee. It's coming back into it. It's another one. And Get a Pepsi. Get a Pepsi now goes on. And Get a Pepsi goes on to beat Bulletproof Coffee. Another one is fourth. Then comes Super Alex back in fifth. That's a Teflon Don. They're off on racing. Florindia gets a flyer. Florindia is quite early. Supremacy also on the premises. Florindia and Supremacy leads them passing the seventh. Supremacy now goes on from Florindia, racing back there in second. Right there, that Huntsman quite early. As they head toward the 6 furlong point, it is Supremacy in front of Florindia, joined on the outside by Huntsman. Then comes Main Mistress, right beside Main Mistress, that's Antarctica. About 3 or 4 lengths before we come to Magnificent Force coming on. Also coming down into it, that's Mr. Senator. Just behind them, that's Empress Lynx. Allegiance comes next, then comes right on the rail, that's Super Alex. Super Alex and running together with Super Alex, that is Provident. Just behind them, that's Lion Charmer, and racing at the back of the field, that is Wizkid. They head toward the 3. Supremacy is in front and bowling along on a 4-length lead. Huntsman racing into second, laboring hard into third and trying to come on once again. Florindia also coming down into its Main Mistress. Mr. Senator is still there on the premises as well. They're at the top of the lane. Supremacy trying to tell this field to in the ONS Tack Room Trophy. Supremacy in front, bowling along on a 5 or 6 length lead. Huntsman is still there fighting on, coming out wide. Main Mistress. Florindia is beginning to find a second win, but it is Supremacy not letting up on the Supremacy in front. Main Mistress begins to dig in on the lead. Supremacy and Romario Spencer, and Supremacy and Romario Spencer is 3 on the day for Anthony Baba Nunes. Supremacy beats Main Mistress. Then comes Allegiance. Super Alex back in fourth, got tied for fifth. Either Magnificent Force or Huntsman.
They're off for the Labor Day Trophy. Further and beyond, Empress Lynx, they came off the slowest as Final Load has blasted through and goes for that lead. Major Danger rushing up on the outside to challenge. Interesting times ahead, snapping at their heels as they leave the 6. Immeasurable Joy and Blue Vinyl team up in behind. A break back to Fearless Force. Sister and Treasure runs the rail in the purple. Stomp the Rhythm just next. Empress Lynx has made some progress. Then Wizkid, and Further and Beyond yet to recover. They've left the 5. They're approaching now the final half of a mile, and Major Danger has taken charge, opening up 5 or 6 lengths. Final Load, the closest pursuer. Interesting times ahead, shaken up now and asked to bubble to the boil. Fearless Force is also making ground. Blue Vinyl just in behind with a lot to do, along with Immeasurable Joy and Sister and Treasure. They leave the 3. Just toward the inside, that's a Stomp the Rhythm. Empress Lynx now beginning to fade a bit. Further and Beyond toward the back with Wizkid. They share last as you're about to come into the top of the lane. Can they catch a Major Danger? Here is Interesting Times Ahead now, unleashed by the rider and coming through with a run on the outside, but it is Major Danger now battling to hold the lead. Interesting Times Ahead. Here is Fearless Force. Blue Vinyl also asked to kick in toward the outside. Sister and Treasure. It's a Major Danger driven to the max. Interesting Times Ahead now bearing down on him. Over against the rail. That Stomp the Rhythm coming on. Major Danger under pressure. Interesting Times Ahead will win the Labor Day Trophy. Close between Blue Vinyl, Major Danger. Out wide, Sister and Treasure. Stomp the Rhythm is on the rail. And they're off. Good start. Money Market goes away blazing for that lead. Mamma Mia chasing a length down on the outside. 3 lengths back to California Crown racing out wide of the favourite Unspun, now under a drive and asked to get closer. Fearless Force in the red races ahead of Champion Bubbler as they go charging up now toward the final half of a mile. They leave the half mile behind them and make their way now toward the final 3. Mamma Mia continues to chart the course by a length and 3 parts. Money Market is chasing. California Crown and Champion Bubbler are there. Fearless Force now moving on the outside. Unspun looking for room in between horses. And the breaking down on No Rider, that's Perfect Brew. They're coming into the top of the lane. Can they catch the fleet of foot Mamma Mia? Money Market trying to do so in the orange sleeves. The favourite Unspun now let loose as the rider becomes busy as they drive toward the furlong pole. Mamma Mia harassed all the while by Money Market, who now points the nose in front, but Mamma Mia ain't going anywhere. These two continue the duel in the stretch run. Mamma Mia over on the rail just. Money Market beginning to tire a bit, and it is Mamma Mia who is running away from in the end to win. I'm satisfied by maybe 4 lengths over Money Market. Unspun coming late is 3rd. Champion Bubbler is 4th. They're off. Pineapple misses it. Florindia didn't, and now grabs that lead as they run away toward the 5. Opening up some 4 or 5 lengths, Jay Spieth on the outside, King's Crown in between horses, Zulu Warrior forming a line of 3 and running the rail. Riches to Rags races up next. In behind those Pineapple and the General will have to run late as they make their way toward the half mile. They're there now and go spinning into that turn, and out in front Florindia continues to show good foot. Florindia with that lead leaves a 7/16th. Being chased by Zulu Warrior. King's Crown asked to pick up on the outside as they leave the 3. Jay Spieth has 6 or 7 lengths to find. Riches to Rags asked to join that one. Then Pineapple further back, and last of all remains the General as they've left the 5/16th and come thundering into the top of the lane. Can they catch Florindia? Out in front and travelling freely. Florindia now getting touches of the stick and a quick change of hold as they race toward the furlong pole. Zulu Warrior now let loose and asked to cut into that lead. King's Crown running on the spot along with Jay Spieth and Riches to Rags. It is Florindia approaching the final 16th with a 4 or 5 length lead. Florindia out in front under the sneaky fox Radish Roman. He's busy and they won't catch him. Florindia wins by 5 or more. Zulu Warrior 2nd. Riches to Rags is 3rd. Looks to be the General 4th over Jay Spieth. Starter ready. They're off. Fair start. Prince Saman shows early speed. Just in behind him, Sensational Move as they sort themselves out and make their way driving up toward us. Press Conference is the one racing right against the stand fence. A Money Market and a Norblar race now toward the center. These two matching strides as they come racing now toward the final quarter. Sensational Move not too far away to land a blow, but Money Market and a Norblar, these two now battling for it. Get a Pepsi is racing in behind them near the stand fence with Press Conference as they come away now inside the last quarter. Sensational Move now asked to get going and begins to lengthen strides, but it's a Money Market and Paul Francis. They hold that lead. Sensational Move now trying to get to Money Market. They're inside the final furlong. It's a Money Market, Sensational Move. Here comes Get a Pepsi under the stand fence, but Money Market looks to be proving too strong over Sensational Move, and Money Market will take it. Sensational Move 2nd, Get a Pepsi 3rd, Prince Aman 4th, Press Conference is 5th. They're off. Chocomo comes out running, hanging a bit to the left, but now straightened out. Teflon Don in the center in the white cap. Mighty Gully in the red cap racing nearest to us with the blue sleeves. Norblar just in behind that one running near the stand fence. They're sorting themselves out. A Mighty Gully nearest to us, right up with the front end, may just have that overall lead. Norblar is also running quickly nearest to the fence. Teflon Don and Unruly Mo race in the center. Chocomo in behind them. Come Home to Me in the blue cap. Now tacking across from the far side, but it is Mighty Gully, the favorite, who has the lead inside the last quarter. Mighty Gully out in front and sprinting fast. It's Mighty Gully and Dick Cardenas. He's looking for his 2nd win on the card, and Mighty Gully is full of run. He has a peep over his shoulder, and Mighty Gully has no dangers. Mighty Gully will romp the event. Mighty Gully coming away and will win it effortlessly in the end by maybe maybe 7 or 8. Bulletproof Coffee is second, Norblat third. Teflon Don and Come Home to Me in a photograph in behind. They're off. The head Cornerstone got off the slowest of them all. Unruly Mo dashes quickly through to open up a 4-length lead. Run, Julie, Run, the Grey is chasing. A McEnroe is showing some speed. Is that a fact? And Divine Force race up as a team in behind as they head away now down the back stretch toward the 6. Linguist is following these. Interesting times ahead of the pink sleeves on the outside of I Dream Again. Supremacy joining that with Oil Machine. The head Cornerstone has made some ground after the poor start. Sister and Treasure races up next, then Sure Delight and the late running Captain Sparrow last as they've left the 5 and run toward the final half of a mile. On Arulimo out in front, slowed down by Radish Roman. McEnroe edging closer. Run, Julie, Run in between horses. Is that a fact? Racing on the outside. A break back to Linguist. Divine Force now shaken up for Run. There goes the head Cornerstone. Supremacy and I Dream Again run shoulder to shoulder. In behind them, Oil Machine. Interesting times ahead now making ground. Sheer Delight also picking up as they've left the 3. Captain Sparrow now looking about to overtake 1. That is Sister and Treasure trailing as they're coming into the top of the lane. A quarter of a mile to run and it's 3 abreast. Run, Julie, Run in between horses. Is that a fact? Racing out 3 wide. Unruly Mo is still there now and fighting hard. Linguist is down against the rail, but now Is That a Fact claims the lead. Here is Run, Julie, Run on the rail now, closing with a flourish. Is that a fact? Run, Julie, Run, breathing down the neck of the leader. Is that a fact? Is that a fact? Continuing to fight hard and fending off Run, Julie, Run. Is that a fact? Wins it over. Run, Julie, Run. Then Linguist, Sure Delight. Could be the head Cornerstone back in 5th.
And they're off. Bad bobble at the start for Gatsby. Loco Albario away quickly. Gonzalez takes a look over his left shoulder and sees he can make the pace, so he will. Loco Albario to the top. Away in second is St. Tappet down at the rail. That's XY Point. Out in the middle is Gatsby, the early trailer of our Revolution. They make their way to the half-mile point. Loco Albario, he has the lead with pace pressure from long shot St. Tappet, who's alongside in second. Trying to work between horses of a Revolution at the rail XY Point. Out in the middle is Gatsby. The opening quarter was 22-4. They leave the backstretch and move on to the far turn. It's Loco Albario by a head. St. Tappet is there, second with 3 furlongs remaining. Up on the outside, Gatsby is now third. Of a Revolution covered up between horses. Ridden at the rail is XY Point. Another look over his shoulder from Gonzalez. He wants to see where Van Dyke is. Out of a Revolution as the other favorite, Loco Albario, is in front. They went to half and 45-4, and they're on their way home. Loco Albario now asked to do some work. Edwin G sends him for the money with Of a Revolution taking aim at the 8th pole. These two kick on and Of a Revolution starts to gain on Loco Albario. Loco Albario cries for the wire, but Of a Revolution has all the momentum. Of a Revolution to the top, well prepared off the long layoff. Of a Revolution wins. Loco Albario second.